How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the long-awaited part 3 of me driving my 2019 Chevrolet Bolt as many days as I can during my daily commute, my daily pattern of life, without charging the vehicle. Now, if you watched part 1 and you watched part 2, you'll know that we drove from Saturday morning. We drove Sunday. We didn't drive Monday because we got like 20 inches of snow. We drove Tuesday and we drove Wednesday. Wednesday night was the end of part 2. It was quite a cliffhanger if you didn't see it. And, we ended up getting home and being literally iced at the charger in my complex. So right now I want to shout out Ken Courtney, who was the first person to comment that I literally got iced. Here's a photo of what the charger looked like. It was a little dark on the GoPro, so I lightened up this screenshot. But as you can see, the snow plows plowed all the snow from the surrounding spots into the electric car charging spot. So there was no way I was going to be able to actually charge the car at that location. Which, if you watched the end of part 2, you know would be a problem because I literally rolled in with like no juice left in the battery. But lucky for me, we have a second charger. I'm actually parked at that one right now. This one has 2 chargers on it as well. You can see we got a Tesla here charging at the moment, and this one was free and clear. I actually knew that ahead of time. So Wednesday morning, before I left for work, I drove by the charger to see what it looked like. All the snow was mounded up. I said, okay, this is not going to be good. Let me try the second one. The second one was free and clear. So I knew when I got home that night, I would be able to plug into this one charger here. Now, for those of you that don't know, being iced at a charger is a term that electric car owners will use when a gasoline vehicle or an internal combustion engine car parks in front of a charger and blocks the spot. It's called getting iced. So this was pretty comical that I was actually iced by ice and not by an ice vehicle in a sense. Anyway, I get home that night, I come to this charger, I plug in, all is well. We top off the battery that night, wake up the next morning with a full battery. Now, before I went in the house, I took this screenshot, which is showing the energy used since last full charge. So this is what we achieved in that 5-day experiment. I got 141 miles and we used 56 kilowatts of power. Now, it's important to note, this is a 60 kilowatt hour battery. So technically, or theoretically, I still had 4 kilowatt hours of power left. Now, at 141 miles over 56 kilowatt hours, that's an average of about 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. So technically, 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 4 more kilowatt hours, I should have been able to get at least another 10 miles of driving. Another thing I failed to mention, and actually I learned it during this experiment, is another way I can kind of track and monitor how much battery I have left. I normally use the screen here, and I use my max and minimums, and I use my mileage, and I kind of know what my average is. I know how many miles I have to go. I know how many miles I've been. But what I never actually thought to do was to go to my energy screen here. If you click on information, it'll give you exactly how many kilowatt hours you used in the vehicle. So like right now, we've used 51.5 kilowatt hours. So technically we still have, I have 8.5 kilowatt hours of battery left, and we drove about 130 so far since last full charge. Now, while I don't recommend you get yourself into this position and drive to this level of battery, it's good to know that you have multiple ways to kind of gauge how far you have left. I wish I thought to look at sooner, or throughout that part 2 video that we did, because if I saw that, and knowing that I had at least maybe 8, 10, conservative 5 miles to drive, it would just take all the anxiety out of the situation. Another thing I failed to do here was go to page 2 before I charged the vehicle to take a picture of this screen here. This screen is going to show you your range impacts since your last full charge. Now, this is current. It's not from the last videos, but it'll give you an idea of what this graph shows. Now, if you look, it says technique, and you have negative 8.3 miles. Terrain, you have negative 0.4 miles. Climate settings, you have negative 3.1 miles. And outside temperature, you have negative 38.2 miles, totaling a loss of 80 miles of range based on those conditions. This could also be very helpful while you're driving, because if you get into a position where you are running low on battery, you can look at this chart and say, well, I do have my climate set to full heat, full fan speed to be comfortable. You can say, you know what, let me pick up some miles, let me turn all that off. I'm going to maybe gain a couple miles worth of range. It'll recalculate everything, and you can hopefully get to your destination. You could also do that by the way you drive. If you notice at the end of part 2, I chose not to take the highway where I would be doing 65, 70, 75 miles an hour. I chose to take the slower roads roads where I was doing no more than 50, 55. By doing that, I'm not going to burn through that remaining battery as fast like I would at higher speeds on the highway. The last two there, the technique and the outside temperature, we really can't do anything about. So if you have a lot of uphills going home or to your destination, you can't avoid it. You can't change that. So the mileage loss there is the mileage loss. The other thing is the outside temperature. You can't do anything about that either. And electric vehicles don't do as well in the cold as they do in normal warmer or hotter temperatures. So, losing 38 to 40 miles of range could be significant if you're in a climate where you have temperatures like we did in this video. Part 1 and part 2, when I did this video, we were ranging temperatures anywhere from 15 degrees to 30, 31. You were pretty much below freezing the entire time. Now, my plan is to actually do the same type of video in the spring, once temperatures get into like the 60s, and then I'm gonna do it again in the summer when temperatures are like 90, 95 plus. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This way you'll know when those videos pop up. Another thing I want to touch on here is our charging level. This is a 2019 Bolt. There is currently a recall going on, and they want you to drop your full charge down 10%. So I would have to bring this down to here. I've run my VIN number multiple times through GM's vehicle investigation report. I do it at work, and my vehicle is not on the list as one of the selected models that has the recall. So I haven't dropped it down to 90% like that. I've been keeping mine at the full 100%, and when we do charge it fully, we charge it all the way. I'm sure you've already noticed that we are at orange indicators again because the battery is pretty much fully depleted. And I was just thinking about it. Today is Sunday, it's February 14th. The last time this vehicle was fully charged was actually last Sunday, because last Sunday I shot all the footage to make this video on my normal GoPro Hero 7 like I normally do, one just like this. And I use these GoPros because they're super small, they're easy to hold, they have great sound quality, they have great image quality, and they have great image stabilization. But every now and then it glitches and that image stabilization doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, the camera picks up all the shake of your hand holding the camera and just makes the footage look like garbage. So I had like 3 minutes of bad footage. It wasn't up to par in my mind. There was no way I was gonna upload it. So I scrapped all the footage and decided I'll just have to film this video another day. The plan was to do it on Monday at work. However, I drove the car Monday to work. I got super busy, so I just drove it home. I told my wife, take the car back and I'll do it next Sunday. So this car was charged on Sunday. I drove it Monday to work. She used it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday until basically today, Sunday morning. I just used it to run and get some bagels and came back, and now we have, you can see basically no mileage left. So as you can see from this experiment, both myself and my wife can both drive this vehicle a number of days in our daily routines, our daily schedules, without actually charging the vehicle. And we're doing that right now in cold temperatures, so we're losing battery range there. Even right now it's 27 degrees outside, so we're below freezing. And if you look at how much we lose for climate settings, it shows that we're doing it in a way that's comfortable. We're driving the vehicle and we're comfortable inside it. We have the heat going, heated seats, heated steering wheel, fan is on. We're not depriving ourselves of comfort to try to get more range. And we're still able to drive, 4, 5, 6 days in a week without charging. Obviously, when we come home, which we come home every night, we can plug the car in. So you can start every day with a full battery, or 90%, 80%, 75%, whatever percentage you set on your computer for your particular car. As we take all the variables and everything we've been talking about into consideration, I think most people can fit an electric car into their family's routine, into their daily lifestyle. And my goal with this channel is to start putting some real Bolt and electric car content out there to help people make those decisions. So like one future idea of a video I have is gonna be things to consider if you're thinking of buying a Chevrolet Bolt or a future Chevrolet electric vehicle. I'm gonna do a video on what it actually costs to charge a Chevrolet Bolt, at home in an outlet versus a level 2 versus a DC fast charge, whatever the case may be. And just a bunch more content, even a video of just the driving experience of the Chevrolet Bolt and an electric car. It's awesome. And if you take this technology and you put it into vehicles like a Camaro or a Corvette or a performance vehicle, like people are gonna love it. And I'm a fan of all powertrains. I'm a car nut. I like all kinds of cars and all kinds of drivetrains. I've had 2 Corvettes that were stick shift. I had a lifted Jeep Wrangler, which I would take off-road, absolutely loved it. So I'm kind of a fan of everything. I really want to get a diesel pickup truck, as a vehicle, in my future. So I'm a fan of it all. And I think electric is just, people are a little skeptical because of range anxiety and because it's different and because it's new and because it has a little planning required as far as how you would charge it on a road trip. But for daily driving, your daily commute, the quietness, the instant torque, the power, you're gonna love it. So stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you're interested. I also have a Dealership Life series playlist, which is right now like 100-something videos of what it's like to work at a car dealership. So if you want to see any of that, please check it out. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Be happy to help you.